Guys, when it comes to home security, to be forewarned is to be forearmed. And one thing that I like to implement is a driveway alarm. It's just a passive infrared alarm system that you can put in an inconspicuous place, and as anyone passes it, you have an alarm that sounds inside. And I've done a couple already before with just some Harbor Freight, very cheap. I mean, I think they were like $15, and they work. But after a while, the water seeps in and they just seem to die. Over, maybe a year and a half. We just picked up one of the eMACROS driveway alarms that is solar powered, it's waterproof, and the range is up to a half mile to the base. And you can get like a 20 to 30 foot infrared pulse that kind of picks up anything that passes you. And guys, I'll tell you, if you're used to having one of these, it gives you just a little bit of a warning to see what's going on. They could be messing around inside your car, they could be coming up to the house. And this is a great way to keep you informed. Now, a good friend of mine sent this alarm, and this company seems to be really on the up and up. I think they even make a lot of products for Motorola and have even done a lot of intercom systems in homes. And they do have a 2-year warranty on these. And so we're going to look at some of the details. We're going to set it up. I'm not necessarily saying to buy this one because we're going to have to test it over a period of time. But guys, check out a driveway alarm for your security system. It just makes great sense. Now guys, there's a ton of options out there. This one happens to be the eMACROS. The model is the SH002. You get your base, which this actually warns you. You put this, mount this in your house. There's a half-mile range between the base and the sensor. This is a PIR, or passive infrared motion sensor. And it does have a solar panel here. There's also an 18650 rechargeable battery inside. And it's recharged right here, but you can recharge it directly. Now here we have a little cover, and again, this is water resistant, or it should be, against the weather. And you have 4 different channels. We have our charging port if you want to go ahead and charge it manually. And then we have an high, low, and off. The high is a 30-foot infrared sensor. The low is for 20 feet, just according to what you need. And then, of course, you can cut it all the way off. In this rubber boot, there's actually little tabs that fit down into the sensor itself, and it just closes up. They're waterproof tabs on the back here. And then this swivels, so you can set this however you want to. And when we install it, we'll talk a little bit more about that. You install it 3 to 5 feet off the ground. It keeps the really small animals from passing through and setting this off. And then, of course, you can just turn it when you get ready to screw in your mounting plate right here, so you don't have to remove this. Now, it does have an arrow right here that says up position, so, of course, you want the solar panel to be able to receive some of the sun, but you don't want the sensor to be in direct sunlight because it'll set it off. In fact, reflection from a vehicle sometimes will set it off. And so, it's just testing it out and figuring out the best way. Now, the base itself, you have 4 different channels like we've seen right here with the sensor itself, and you can set those to different places. We have our on-off here, and then we have volume high and low. And this does take 4 AA batteries. And these are not included, but we went ahead and installed those. You do have a port right here as an adapter. We have a charging cable, and you have an AC adapter right here. So you can plug this in, or you can plug this directly into a USB port. Now the batteries will last for a while in here, but what I'll probably do is mount this with the cable and plug this in. We're going to go ahead and turn this on. You can hear that it comes on. And then, of course, you can set your volume. Now, here on the sensor, this is where we get different chimes, but you can add up to 4 different units, and here you have your different channels. We're going to leave it on channel 1, and I'm going to turn it on. We're just going to turn it on to low. We're going to test it. Takes just a second. All right, we set it off, and that is the chime for section 1 or sector 1. We're going to go ahead and move it to channel 2. Takes just a second for it to calibrate. And that's channel 2. We're going to go to channel 3. Go ahead and let it calibrate. And we have William Tell's Overture or the Long Ranger. Then we go to channel 4. There it goes. That's in case you're having an invasion from aliens. And so you have 4 different ways, and if you want to have 4 of these set up, you can put them in 4 different locations, and with each chime you know where the sector that somebody's coming into. And so I think that's a pretty cool way to do it. And of course with 4 of these it would really be able to outfit a number of different places. And then again, just go ahead and turn it off, and you can do that before you mount it. And then right here again, it'll give you that double beep to let you know that you've turned it off. Now when you do turn it on, the 3 will show up and it'll stay lit, but that does not mean that you're on the 3rd channel. That just means that the base is working. And then we turn it off. You do get some anchors and screws for mounting, and then also you get a quick setup guide, and then you get a full owner's pamphlet with all the different details. And there's a lot you can read through it. These are warranted for about 2 years, but I'm not necessarily going to do the review of this particular unit even though we're setting it up, because a lot of these are the same way. The big thing is, guys, is having some kind of driveway alarm system, or around the back of your house, at your shop, if you have a business or something that's right there on the property. And again, this has a half-mile or 800-meter range from the base to the sensor. And then from the sensor out, it's 20 to 30 feet according to where you want to set it for high or low. Now we have our AC DC adapter plugged in, and go ahead and plug it into the port, even though this is solar, and you need to make sure that it's charged completely. The blue light will come on to let you know that it's charging. When the blue light goes off, it's fully charged. And then the solar should be able to take care of the rest. Now here's the old system that we had, and again, it's not waterproof and there's water that's gotten into it, and so we're going to replace it. But this has been a decent one. In fact, here's the one we had even before that. So, you know, and it's been about 1.5 years, I guess, we've had this one, maybe longer. So they do okay, and they're very inexpensive, but I'm looking forward to the upgrade. We want to make sure that we have the solar panel where it can get some sun, but again, we don't want direct sunlight into the sensor. And we're putting it up above. Typically we would put them down below because we were concerned about the rain, but with this it should be water resistant. And we're going to turn it a little bit so when the sun does come up, it doesn't hit this one area. And this will set off false alarms if we don't. So what we're going to do is just turn it, and then we can screw in each one and just turn it. And that way we don't have to remove this, which we wouldn't be able to remount it with this mounted anyway. But you can put this on a tree, you can put it in different places. You just want it close enough to your driveway to be able to pick up. And we're about 15 feet from the driveway, so this should be plenty. Okay, we're gonna get Sarah Mac to help me out a little bit. Using a cordless drill makes this easy. Easy peasy. All right. Is that hard?
Not really.
All right, then we're going to turn it on and decide the channel that we want to be on, which is channel 1. Is that on channel 1? All right. Make sure it's good and tight. You don't want any water to get in unnecessarily. And again, you want it to be, you can already see it going off, you want it to be at least 3 to 5 feet in the air. And so we're definitely there. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and test it up close. Okay, test 1 complete. Here's the original unit. We're gonna take it off. It does have 2 screws where our base only has 1, or only needs 1. So I'm just gonna remove one of these screws. Next, we're gonna mount this one, bring it down. Go ahead and turn it on. Now we're set. You'll notice this light will be on when it's running. And again, that doesn't mean it's the 3rd channel, but that just lets you know it's on. Okay, go ahead. Okay, I just got in touch with Sarah Mac. There it goes off. You can do the volume. You can turn it down if you want to. But we've got it in our laundry room just right outside of the kitchen, so we're able to pick this up with the door closed. There she goes past the alarm, and it set it off. Now I'm standing outside of the front door. We're gonna see if we can just hear it. I don't know if you can hear it, it just went off. And here she comes back. So it's like a doorbell at your driveway, and it just gives you a fair warning again that somebody is entering the area, and you may have friends coming, and at least you know they're here. So there's a lot of great uses for this. Not just security, but just to know what's going on. Now as she drives up the driveway, we're gonna hear the alarm go off with the door closed in the laundry room. So you can hear it, and the laundry room is all the way back down that little hall. And that is where our laundry room is. Then here she comes back through the drive with the door closed. Excellent. I love the color. It kind of blends in with the fence. You don't really even notice it. With the white, you do see it, even though it was a little bit out of sight. And so this kind of gives you a little bit more of having that in a kind of a hidden place. The only thing is, when you're leaving, you're not going to be able to sneak out anymore because this thing will go off. But that's a good thing. Now, these are easy to install, easy to put up, and this is actually a second unit that I went ahead and ordered to put over here at my shop. And I can use the same base. And so there's a lot of options. And again, rechargeable, solar. I mean, there's a lot of cool features. Being waterproof, that's really important. And so if you get one of the real cheap, again, the Harbor Freight alarms, they're not going to necessarily hold out over a long period of time. And we'll be doing an update on this one when we find out how it lasts. Now guys, if you're serious about prepping and survival, check out Survival Dispatch Insider. They use a lot of the top names in the survival world. We upload one video exclusive to the Insider every week. It's a great resource if you're into prepping and survival. I have a link down below in the description. Check it out. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic.